In this section, we're just going to go over how we can start breaking up the colours on this machine so that we can get a better idea of what we need for a trim sheet. So for example, on the screen of this, I want to have like a nice chrome edge and a black screen. And a good way to break this up into the different coloured sections is to come up here and go to Mesh Display and Apply Colour. And if you click on the options box for that, we can click into the colour section and we can set up some colours in our custom colour selection here. So we select a few polys on here, like the front edges of this. We can come up to the colour wheel here and we can pick a really light grey because I want this to be chrome. And go done and apply that. And I also want to apply it to the top piece, so I'm going to apply it there. And around the edges of this monitor as well. So I'm going to click, double click, and then I want to grow this selection because I want the chrome to come maybe slightly up to the corner here. So I'm going to hold Shift and greater than, and then apply that there as well. And then I also want the chrome to be applied across the front face of this. So I'm just going to go like that. Make sure I've got just that selected. Apply there, and to this as well. Okay, then go back to the monitor and I want this glass to be quite dark. So I'm going to go to the selection mode and hold Tab. Just select all the front pieces, and then again I'm going to grow that selection. And I'm going to change this to a very dark grey and apply that. So that will be our glass. Okay, so I think I want this chrome to actually come more around the front edge of this, like it's a more of a stylized trim. So I need to make a cut around here. So I could possibly do that by grabbing this front edge and this inside edge because I want them to be duplicated, and then extrude that, but just use the offset. I want it to come wrap around there like that. Okay, and then I can put a cut in here to match the thickness of that. It probably needs to go up slightly. When I'm happy with that, I can then go to vertex mode, go to target weld, make sure I've not got any vert selected, and just weld that up there. And I need to do the same with the inside. And then I can delete the unneeded edges. And make sure that you hold control when you delete edges like this, because if you don't, if you just backspace, you'll have stray vertices. So just make sure that select these edges, bottom one as well, control backspace, and that will remove the vertex as well. So we just need to make sure this is cut off here, go right around to that other edge. We can straighten this up. Again, V, snap to vertex, and then we can delete that. So this doesn't want to delete here, so I might just have to do it one at a time. It can possibly cause some issues when there's a big end gone like that. Sometimes things don't like to delete the way they should normally delete. So I'm just going to isolate this piece here so I can see what's happening on the inside. Make sure there's no stray verts. Nope, that's all clean. So now we have a nice ridge around here that I can later on apply my trim sheet to. Also give this a beveled edge now that the chrome is going to be a little bit thicker on this. So I think that'll just look nice. I think it's a bit too much of a sharp edge and a bit obvious as well. So shift right click, bevel that edge, I'm selected. Just a tiny bevel because we want it to look really neat. Now you can see it's gone black, and that's not a problem with the polys. That's just because we've still got the apply colour up, and the last colour we used was black, so all the new polys are going to be black as well. So we can just select these faces again, and then shift grow that, and then deselect everything we don't want. And then just go in here and reselect our bright chrome and apply that. Deselect and turn the wireframe off and just make sure them bevels look nice. Yeah, nice and sharp. Get rid of any hang-ons. And there's a few different ways we could get rid of the hang-ons on these faces. So I'm going to put a cut across here because I might use that. I'll avoid the need to stretch any of these edges too far. And I just want to line this up with that last vert there, and I'm going to do the same on the inside as well, so I'm just going to isolate this, do a cut there as well. And connect that. Then we can select these two inner faces here, shift right click poke face, and then go to vertex mode, go to our target weld. So we go merge vertex target weld, make sure we've got no vert selected, target weld that down to there like that. And it's not ideal. I would like a few more splits than this just to separate that. I don't like a point having too many pieces in here because these tiny little polys, as they get really small here, can cause issues with the rendering, but I think that'll be okay for now. And whatever panels I want around the back, I want them to wrap around this corner a little bit, so I'm going to also put a cut straight through the center here. Just make sure that's straight. And I'm going to target weld that as well. With just the outside edges selected, I'm going to hold V again and move that to line up with that vert, so this is nice and straight. That way I can do a panel cut down there and make it look like the back metal curves around a little bit. Maybe I'll have some panels here. Yeah, I think that'll do for that. Should we put a bottom piece on? Yeah, let's make it so the bottom piece maybe has some sort of plastic on it to stop it getting damaged. And what we can do here, so I'll put one loop in. I might make it slightly different, so I might select that loop, bevel it to give me two edges like that, and then I'm going to select the bottom ones. I just want to contract them a little bit, and one way we can do that, because if we just try and scale this down now, it's going to scale it equally across all of it. So what we can do is, so we can go to edit mesh and go to transform, and then we'll get this gizmo up, and it should transform based on the normal direction of this. So we just pull inwards like this, we should get an equal amount of movement across every single face. And then I can select these, all the polys on the bottom here, and we can go to mesh display, apply color, and I can pick a new color for this. So I want it some sort of plastic, so I'm going to go for a mid gray for this, or mid to dark gray, maybe a tint of blue in it. Apply that. And again, I want to reapply my white to the model. Maybe I'll add some colour for the rest of the vending machine. Some sort of painted metal. Maybe the inside can be a dark metal, a grey metal, outside like an orange. Maybe the bottom of this an orange as well. So I just want to make sure all my other edges are quite neat. So this is kind of a bit messy here. Make sure I've got no n-gons as well, nothing obvious. And I want to also make sure that this bottom is capped off. Okay, so it's fairly simple, but I think I am happy with that. So the next stage is to start plotting out some of these trim pieces based on what we think we need on here. So make sure you save your work before continuing on, and I'll see you in the next section.